This week I'm talking all about Army Reserves, so how to go about it, how to join and the benefits it can bring to you. Welcome back. If you're new, my name's Luke. I'm a servant infantry in the British Army. So what the channel's all about then, it's all about giving you a better insight into the British military, British Army to be specific, in work and both out of work. So if it's something that you might enjoy, you might like, and you might get something out of it, please give us a thumbs up, like and share, and remember to subscribe and remember to hit that bell icon. That'll keep you up to date on any future content. So like the title suggests, this week then I thought I'd do something different. It's been a few people have asked me questions, regards to British Army Reserves. So there hasn't been a lot on the channel about it, but it is a very big thing within the military itself. So that's what I want to talk about today. So why would someone want to join the Army Reserves? Well, maybe you don't want to fully commit to the regulars, maybe you just can't fit it around time frame wise. Maybe you've got, if you established yourself already in a really good civilian job, but you've always sort of wanted to do the sort of military side of things, or you've wanted to give some service to the country. All these things can contribute to it. It also can be, some people use it as a tester. So like I said, they're not sure about fully committing to the army, so they go away and join their local reserve unit and get a little bit of taste of what military life is, and then make the decision then whether they're going to stay reserves or yes, I really like it and want to fully commit to it. How we're going to break that down in this episode then is going to break down a few little things. So what you need to do, so what sort of prerequisites you need to sign up to Army Reserves. Going to cover basic training, how much time you need to contribute, so that will be the sort of most minimum time you can. Maximum, it's totally up to you whenever if you go that route, but we'll just go through what minimum time you need to do. Opportunities, so both in work and outside of work, and your bonuses, so all about the money and what you can get if you join the Army Reserves. Okay, so then first question, what it might be apparent to you is, so what sort of age I need to be to join. So it's going to be, as a regular then, it's like 17 years and like 9 months is like the earliest opportunity that you can apply to be a reservist, and then you can apply all the way up to your 50th birthday. Now your 50th birthday then, that is only for sort of specific roles. For that will allow you to wait to that later stage. There'll be more information on the Army website, so you go into role finder in there, and so whatever you're sort of thinking in your head you might be interested in going into, check that out on their role finder and that'll tell you about the ages. But that's the sort of extreme left and extreme right of arc. The only difference is with the officers then is 48 years to apply there to be the officer, and like I said, they're going to be higher sort of age sort of restrictions for different specialist roles. So if you think this is not just like your sort of normal soldier or driver or sort of mechanic, so you think of all these different like specialist jobs like doctors and all that sort of stuff may have and will have certain different age restrictions on them, but you can find all that out on the role finder on the British Army website. Okay then, so fitness. Obviously now the British Army as a whole has completely changed its physical fitness standards. That's the assessments and tests to get in, and for people like me who are currently serving, all our sort of stuff, and it's the new PES. For yourselves then, if you're looking to first join up and you want to go reservist, you're talking, so your mid-thigh pull is 76 kg, medicine ball throw of 3.1 meters, and your 2k run then is what's 2k run? 2k run is in 10 minutes 15 seconds, so plenty of time to get that in. I think that is sort of geared around infanteers, which we'll specifically go into later on in our jobs, but pretty much that's very, very achievable for any sort of person. Just, you don't even, that's way beyond, that's not even close to superhuman fit. Anyone can do that with a little bit of training. And if you're sort of unsure on what way you want to get yourself fit for them type of tests, put a link, it'll be somewhere along here on top of the screen, to Craig. Craig has his own YouTube channel, and he is as well as being in the cavalry division, he is a PTI, so fitness instructor within the army, regular. He's done a big program for, he writes programs for serving and non-serving, fitness wise. So there'll be plenty of information on his site on what way you can, if you're not in and around them sort of goals for your fitness, go on there and he'll put plenty of advice on how to get yourself ready for that. So next then what I'm going to talk about then is, so you've put your hand up, you applied, you went through the application, you've met all the sort of prerequisites, you passed your medical, you passed the sort of entry level sort of fitness requirements, then it's time to go into training. So your training then is, so your first training, phase 1 is split into 2 parts. So it's phase 1, it's phase 1 and phase 2, but it's alphas and bravos. Once you complete all this sort of part of training, then you're going to have to go and do your trade training. So for instance, if you're going to be a driver or a medic or something like that there, you're going to go to different places. I'll specifically touch on infantry whenever we get to it for the phase 2 part. Sorry, the trade training. Okay, so phase 1, alphas then is 4 weekends. So I've just got it here, I want to get it completely right. Yeah, so it's 4 training weekends ran over an 8-week period. And that is ran within your your local army training unit or your local reservist centre. So you'll already probably know where that is, because you'll be focused in, okay, I know that's down the road or wherever it's going to go, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to go to your local place. So that's where you're going to go. The people who will instruct you there are the ones who belong to that training establishment or that unit where you are. So that's where you're going to do first. You're going to do 4 working weekends over that 8-week period, and that'll be up to you whenever you first sort of meet up with the instructors and the different sort of soldiers in that place on the plan on what way you're going to do it. So I don't know, I've never done it before, but I presume if you were like really keen and wanted to get it all out of the way, you'd work a plan out with them and they would give you a sort of structure, and this is when you need to turn up and this is when we'll do that. So that is your alphas, and that's done there. Okay, after that then it's the phase 2. This is not your trade training, it's just phase 2 of basic, and that is 15 and a half days, and that is ran in a place called Grantham, down south, I believe it's in Lincolnshire, and that is basically like a residential type course. So just over 2 weeks there, just by like a day and a half, you go away down there, and everything that you've learnt on the 4 working weekends with the instructors in your local army training unit, you'll go into that and you'll do it at a more sort of advanced level as such. There'll be a little bit of field work, so working outside in the harbour areas and that, because it doesn't matter, the same as all the other job stuff I've talked about, if you're a medic or a chef, all these different sort of trades you can do in the military, everyone is a soldier first. So before you go anywhere near any of that sort of stuff, you need to learn how to be a basic soldier first. So this is where this is going to be taught. You will also be your first exposure to regular soldiers, so there'll be regular instructors there as well as reservist instructors there down in that 15 and a half day course. As soon as you've passed that, then that's whenever you've passed, you're now a basic soldier, so it's time to go away and do your trade courses. So I'm going to touch now on to infantry, because obviously I am infantry and I've got a lot there, because whenever I was posted in Catterick, a part of one of my stuff to do up there was running those sort of reservist courses. So me and a couple of other platoons, we would teach certain other soldiers, and then flick the other side of it would be reservists, so doing their combat infantryman's course. So that's 2 weeks. That's residential as well. Slightly upgraded now, the course, because it's having a whole big sort of revamp in ITC Catterick. That's both regular and reserve, everyone there, all recruits going through there. Excuse me. But it shouldn't be too much different. It's 2 weeks. You'll have 2 exercises, and they'll be on the weekends. During the week then you'll have sort of live firing as well, so that'll get you up to sort of ACMT level, and that'll just be working with the rifle. The field stuff then, so the exercises, you'll be working with a regular section commander. So there's definitely, when I wasn't there, it was just regular section commanders from ITC, so Infantry Training Centre, and you're just going in and you're doing an exercise. So you work sort of loosely as a platoon, but more predominantly as a section. And the guys and girls in your section will be from all different regiments, so you all will not be going to the same regiment. You're going to cover everything from sort of section attacks, pairs fire maneuver, all the way up to, so as far as you go up to is a section attack. You're going to cover your recce patrols, you're going to do touch on basic OPs, camouflage and concealment. You're going to go into the harbour area, which you'll know more about when you do your alphas. So that's your base. So it's basically how you live out in the forest. You will get taught all that, so you're living in the forest part in your alphas and bravos. Yes, alphas and bravos, but you'll go into more detail now, because obviously infantry, it's like sort of the prime job of us, and we go out and we live in the field, and you'll advance on that. They will go into how to operate and manoeuvre in the wood blocks and stuff to a more advanced level in Catterick itself. So yes, and that's a 2-week course. It's pretty compact course, because obviously we've got only 2 weeks to get it all ramped down and get it squared, but it's good. Aim for a summer one if you're going to go to it. Anyway, yes, so that is training. So once you've done that, then that is you fully fledged. You'll go back to your reservist unit, whichever you've chose, and then you're good to go. So obviously the training side, that was infantry. I'm not too sure on how long trade training lasts for all the other different sort of stuff within the military. Obviously things like medical and stuff like that potentially will be a longer like for phase 2, like trade training. If you're a reservist here watching this right now, just jump in the comment section if you are sort of specialist roles, so like a mechanic, armour, medic, all these different stuff. Just let us know, start up down there, and how long, where your phase 2 is, so your trade training and how long it is. Okay, so next then what I'm talking about is your sort of minimum time you have to sort of provide to your particular unit, and then we're going to go straight into the bonuses, best part obviously. So the minimum time, so it's ranging between 19 to 27 days a year is the sort of minimum. And the reason why it's that sort of left and right of art is the different specialist roles and whatever your unit are will have a different sort of the minimum that you have to provide to them. You're not obligated to do everything all the time. Obviously at any time you can terminate your contract and all that sort of stuff, but you just got to let your chain of command know. All this sort of minimum time of service is for you then to get your annual bonuses, or to get your wage, your annual bonuses and stuff added on top of your normal wage. So your normal wage, I'm not too sure, normal wage, I'm not too 100% sure what exactly it is, but I know it's the same as like a regular soldier would be. However, you're going to do your stuff in evenings, or obviously predominantly at the weekends. So 19, 27 days. Also then, you've also got, pretty sure it's a 2-week camp, annual camp every year. And normally then your whole sort of unit, reservist unit, will go away down to, I don't know, like the likes of Brecon, Salisbury, and all these places, and conduct exercise for 2 weeks. I've done range safety for one of them. I think it was one of the rifles reserve units, and it's pretty decent. You all get together, go away, do loads of ranges, live firing, and how you have, like, if it's in the summertime and stuff, barbecues and stuff at night as well. So I think it's a good time away. I think you also will get like LSA, which is an allowance that all soldiers get every time you go into the field. So you'll go away for 2 weeks and do that. I believe that's compulsory. If it's not, let me know, but I'm pretty sure it's 19, 27 definitely is your minimum days, and then that 2-week camp in the middle. Okay then, so let's talk about bonuses. So a tax-free bonus, you will meet it. So that's what I was talking about, the minimum requirement of days. Excuse me. So that's 19 to 27 days, and you will get that sort of tax-free annual bonus. Also have to do your military annual tests. Excuse me. So they are your mats. So this is not just reservists, this is everyone. Regulars have to do it as well. It's all sort of tests we have to do annual. I think there's about 6 or 7 of them. They're not difficult, like, but you'll have to complete them. Go to your unit. Your sort of NCOs and stuff will be on top of when that's going to be conducted. Smash all them out, smash your minimum time out, and then you qualify for your annual bonus, which is on top of your sort of wage itself. So your annual bonus, then you're talking, it varies around 470 quid in your year 1, and it ranges all the way up to 1,862 quid on your year 5. So each of you first join up, for example, and you've got 5 years in, each year you will get a bonus on top of your normal stuff. It's all to do with and calculated on how many days you've contributed to your unit that year. But that minimum time, what I'm saying to you there, is the 19 and 27. Obviously year 1 then would be the 470, and that's if you're doing that minimum time. What I failed to mention then is, which I'll come on to, in fact I'll come on to it now, is so there is a fee then where once you're accepted into training, so that's your sort of alphas and bravos, the phase 1 in Grantham, you're awarded £300. So that's just from being accepted into training. Once you complete your initial training, which is phase 1, which is obviously that alphas and bravos, alphas being the 4 weekends away, 4 weekends with your unit, and then you've got that 15 week and a half-ish in Grantham. Once you pass that, that's £1,000 then. That's not your wage, that's on top of your wage. So you pass everything out and you pass out on the parade square and all that good stuff, that's £1,000 straight in the bank. Then you go away and do your trade training. If you're an infantry and you're come to Catrick, 2 weeks, pass that 2 weeks, there's another £1,000. So straight away then, just from going through that training process, you've got, what's that, sort of, 2,300 quid. And that's from going through all that sort of training process. So straight away, good bonuses there for getting in. Okay, so then other little things you'll get, same as the regulars then, so you're going to earn military and civilian qualifications. And I believe you can jump on all the sort of courses and stuff that what a regular soldier would be able to do. It's just then it's for you to work out with your civilian employer and then go down to your sort of NCOs and stuff within your unit, and then discuss when you can go away and get booked on sort of stuff. So you can get all that sort of stuff. And then you can get and then convert them into sort of civilian qualifications as well. Also then there's opportunities to travel. This is quite big as well. So you will have loads of opportunities to do adventurous training. So what I mean by adventurous training is like skiing, skydiving, kayaking in different countries and all that sort of stuff, going to expeditions, all this sort of stuff. That is all, you can do that as well. And the army pays you to go away and do that. You'll get all the little bonuses like LOA, LSA. These are all little extra bits of money the military pays, the army, whenever anyone goes away or deploys. So as soon as you've got a night out of bed, straight in, you can get all that. Also then with the sort of adventure trainings, like hill walking, rock climbing, caving, all that sort of stuff, you can build up qualifications in that. So you can start at a lower level and then work your way up over the years or however long it is, and work yourself up to being an instructor. If you're civilian and you're already an instructor, so like a kayak and mountain bike, any of these kind of sports instructors, you can then be trolled to go away, where if a unit was to go away on adventure training, they ask for an instructor, go with that unit and deliver that package. And you could probably do that quite regularly as well. So stuff like me, I'm going skiing in January with my company. All our instructors are military, so the officers put out a trawl, so asking it, put the feelers out across the army, who's skiing instructors. All the answers come back, and they all come away with us then in January and teach us. So you can get that then in the reservists as well. I do know then, so it's called, I think it's called Exercise Frosted Blade. Don't hold me to it, could be wrong. But it's a big skiing competition held every winter. So like over December, I think it's like 6 weeks long, and that's regulars, reservists, all go way down to, I think it's Sweden, not 100% sure, but you'll go away, train, skiing, and then compete. So it's like military, so it's inter-service competitions, and that's annually every year, 6 weeks away, skiing, if that's your sort of thing. So yes, that's opportunities. Also, that's adventure training going away in a sort of civilians type adventure training style. Operational tours, it'd be a lie to say everyone doesn't join the military to want to go on operational tours. Pretty much, I think that's why most people want to join up. You can 100% go on one. If so, like say your parent unit. So for us then, Royal Irish, our reserve battalion is 2 Royal Irish. Anytime we go on operations, there is a number of 2 Royal Irish soldiers that go with us. Once we're coming up to an operational cycle or getting ready to go, the call will be put out over to them. There's XY number of spaces. If flipping 300 said they wanted to go, I'd say they'd go. there's always going to be space for you to go. However, for reservists then, you have that sort of you have the nicety then where you don't have to specifically go with your parent unit. So I know we've obviously just come back from Afghanistan. There's a few guys who are with us for 2 RLRs. They're now looking at going on a tour to Cyprus. Can't remember what the name is. Tusker, I think it is. Can't remember, but that's not with us. We're not going that up. So you can look around different regiments within the vicinity of it. If you're over in the mainland, you've got a lot to choose from. And if they're going away on an operational tour or something, you can apply to go with them, and away you go. So you could actually get deployed a lot more than what a regular soldier might get deployed. Then lastly then is promotion. So going to focus here on infantry because what I know then promotion wise, it's the exact same as what a regular would do. So you're going to have an NCO Carter, and it's going to be your first one, and that's going to qualify you to Lance Corporal. How you get onto that then is from how you conduct yourself on your training nights and training weekends. I'd probably say how often you turn up, and that's how the sort of they'll make a decision on whether to send you or not. That's 2 weeks, so it's going to be specific to your regiment. So I think some of them are also held in Catterick, because there's a reservist NCO Carter in Catterick, but also I don't know, for instance, if you're a reservist in the Rifles, whatever one of their reservist units are, they might have a Rifles NCO Carter, and reservists can come on that. Same with us, we don't have a Royal Irish one, we have a Scottish, Welsh and Irish Division one, where we'll send everyone up to there. So that's that, so it's external course. Your next one then, infantry wise, is juniors, so SCBC down in Bracken. For regulars then you're talking 13 odd weeks. For reservists then, I believe you're going to do Skill at Arms, is a 2-week course, and that's called All Arms Skill at Arms. So that's the part where you go away and learn all the weapon systems, and more importantly learn how to teach the weapon systems. So you may have a good base knowledge of the weapons that you're going to be using, but it's then giving you the tools in your armory then to go away and teach that. So that's the part that gives you that qualification. You also got your tactics part of it as well. I'm not sure then on how long. I definitely know you probably won't do the 7 weeks of tactics. It's like a 2-week sort of condensed package for reservists as well. So you're looking there all in all 4 weeks all in, and that's going to qualify you to corporal, which is section commander. Next then is sergeant. So for sergeant then you're going to go on seniors, and you're going to do the first 2 weeks. I think it's first 2 weeks, 2-3 weeks again, and what that's going to do then is you're going to come and you'll learn the combat estimate in detail. So like I said a few videos ago, you're going to learn to do the platoon commander, the officer's job, and sort of how to plan things and all that sort of stuff. And then you're going to go one exercise. It's probably one exercise is enough as well, it's hard pounding. You're going to go away on that, and once you're done there, and that's you can go back to unit and you're qualified as sergeant. You also have the opportunity then to do the whole of tactics, and for seniors, I'm only knowing that from speaking from experience, because when I was on it, there's a load of reservists on it, but all of them, some of them done the 2 weeks and away they went, and some of them had got time off work from their civilian employers, and they stayed for the full of tactics, and they stayed for the full course and went back to their units. But doesn't matter, reservists, I think it's only the first 2 exercises, and then she's done, and that's you qualify to sergeant. And that is it for reservists. So that's tonight's video. I just had a couple of messages, both publicly and privately, asking about that. So I hope you got something from it. 100%, like if you were sort of half on the fence about wanting to fully commit to the military, it's a no-brainer. Also then, if you're looking at getting out and you're a regular and you're not quite sure on what you're doing next, it's a nice wee safe thing to do and to get money. Also then on the website for regulars, if you're leaving, you can get a bonus as well if you go straight into the reserves. I'm not sure how much it is, it's on the website, and go through it that way. It also gives you a little bit more time then to sort of to lay your foundations in Civvy Street, and it would be 100% no-brainer. And for anyone else who has not been in the military, yes, you're testing the water, so not fully committing, and I think it's a good way of meeting new people. It's going to give you a lot more experiences, definitely going to completely skyrocket your confidence, and you can take all that sort of stuff back to your civilian job. Everything about planning in stressful conditions, making them quick decisions. If you're involved in a civilian deployment and you are in around like a team, you're working around teams and like a kind of business model, it's going to give you the own tools to really G them up, because if you can get people going when they're cold, wet, tired, hungry, you're going to be able to do it, no dramas within that sort of office environment. So yes, that is us for this week, and that is reservists. Like always, if drop anything in the comment section in regards to questions, and if there is any reservists watching, engage with people as well, give them your experiences, what you thought of reservists. If you don't want to go on down there publicly, remember they got Instagram and the Facebook, and I can engage with you directly there. Stay tuned then. I'm still waiting for the weather to get better, to get outside and get that drone up, throw that one up video, reference that. Hopefully at the weekend the weather should be better. But anyway, thanks again for tuning in. As always, your help is greatly appreciated. Just keep liking and sharing, and we'll get amongst it. Thanks again. See you again next week.